Welcome to the class. My name is Muhammad Arif Iqbal. I am a mechanical engineer. I had done my mechanical engineering from IIT ISM Dhanbad. I am here to present a demo lecture on physics, and I have chosen the topic that is motion in 1D. Let us introduce with motion. What does a motion means? Motion, as we know, that is the change in position of an object with respect to an observer. Here the observer is an important criteria which define that motion is at rest or at motion. Let us understand it with an example. Suppose three friends are two are sitting in the train and one is outside the train. Suppose A and B are sitting in the train just uh, and this train is moving, and third friend, that is C, is standing on the ground. If the train is moving and we ask that B is in rest or motion, then A will say that B is at rest, which means that the position of B with respect to A with moving time is does not changing. That's why A is said that B is at rest, or B will said that A is at rest. But when we ask C the what do you say about A and B, then C will say that both A and B both are in motion because the position of A and B are changing with respect to time. So here the observer is very important, which from this we can conclude that absolute motion or absolute rest does not exist, is only dependent or depend on observer. Suppose two people are sitting in their room, and A and B, and a man who is sitting in mass C, they say that these two body are in motion. Or the man who is sitting in the mass, he see these three friends A, B and C, he will say that all three are in motion. So the body is in motion or rest is totally dependent on the observer or the person who is observing the motion. So observer is a very important criteria to define that whether the body is in motion or in rest. Now we will classify the motion into, actually the classification of motion is in three categories, that is motion in 1D, motion in 2D and motion in 3D. When only one coordinate are required to specify the motion or specify the position of the object, that we know that is called 1D. And similarly two coordinates are needed, suppose x and y, simultaneously the position of the body will change in x as well as in y, or xz or zx, which means two coordinates are simultaneously needed to define the position of an object, that is called 2D. So that type of motion is called 2D motion. Suppose in carom board simultaneously x and y changes. Now we have a 3D motion. If all three coordinates are need to specify the position of an object, that is termed as 3D motion. Suppose the bird fly in the air, uh, this kind of motion is termed as 3D motion. For now we are focused in 1D motion, and in 11th and 12th there is 2D motion, and in higher class we will do 3D motion. So let us discuss a very important point, that is we always term that object is a point object. So what does a point object? Does a point object means a point which has no dimension? No, my dear. In physics, point object is termed as the object whose dimension are much smaller than the distance it move. I had taken an example to illustrate this. First, suppose a normal train, which length is almost 700 to 800 meters, 24 coach train, and it has to travel from, suppose, Nagpur to Delhi, which is about 700 kilometers. So the distance it travel and the dimension it has, it is very less. 700 meter is very less than 700 kilometers. Then in that term we can tell that this train is a point object. This train as a point, we can define this train as a point object. Okay, so now I am ending this session. Thank you.